Welcome to the Underdogs podcast. Strap yourselves in for 1 hour of unrivaled audio entertainment. Featuring HopCat.
It's time to come back with the Crazy Frog.
Little Z.
Guys, this week I've made the decision to leave Panda.
Sheesh!
Poppet 1.
I don't even know what to say after that. Do you guys know that Popcorn Song was one of the first original
And
electronic
Director
songs?
Cogger.
I might join Panda. Spot available.
Ooh,
Oh, no, I won't though.
good story, dude.
But we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. We got some more lighthearted topics to get into before that.
Yeah, we just came off recording some silly videos, so we're
Yeah.
feeling silly moods. We're not in a serious mood just yet.
Ooh, tell you where I was silly. I had my mum and dad's 60th on the weekend.
Yeah, you got a bit silly at that one.
Joint 60th party. Actually, not that silly.
Damn.
It was not the kind of event where I was going too crazy. But it was actually pretty good. They had a silent disco, which none of their older friends knew how to use.
Yep.
Me and Maddie had to go around teaching people how to use the headsets and that.
How hard is it? You just press a button.
But it was funny because it's got like the 3 channels and that.
You press a button to change channel.
Yeah, but what was funny about it is my mum and dad had 1 channel each. Then my sister had a channel. So there were a few young people there like me, Maddie, Ellen, who's my sister. And like some of my cousins and that. And like we're all on Ellen's channel like vibing out to some good music. And then like I flick onto the old channel and then there's like, see everyone on my dad's channel and they're singing like, yeah, they're singing like Blister in the Sun and that. There are some good
that's a
songs on
banger.
there, yeah. But it's just funny, the contrast.
His silent disco is a very modern thing, so good on your parents for jumping on the train.
Awesome idea.
Taken off.
Yeah,
Good
very
idea
cool.
for the different generations, I reckon, with the different music.
No, definitely.
Yeah, also different vibes. I remember the last party we went to, which was Holly's 21st with the silent disco. That was hilarious because there was a bunch of, people singing fucking Love Story by Taylor Swift, and then I was just like, let's change the channel because I do not want to deal with that.
I remember you telling me a story. Apparently, me and Maddie were dancing together.
You were dancing to different songs.
Yeah.
Like, you guys
In
didn't
unison.
know.
Vibing with each other, but yeah, on different channels because you can see by the color on the headset. It was great.
Romantic.
But the other thing about my parents having a 60th is like, it's the classic like going around to all of these friends of my parents. I can't talk too much shit because I know mum listens to the pod. Shout outs, mum. But yeah, having that like short life update conversation with all these people that knew you when you were a kid. And,
yeah.
and they're like, oh, what are you doing these days? YouTube's still going well? That's a classic because that's all they know about it.
Yep.
They know it's YouTube.
And it's going well, or it was going well at least.
Yeah, it could be going. It's like, oh, that crashed and burned. They're like, oh.
You know what my pet peeve is? When you see someone you haven't seen since you were a little kid or something, and they're like, oh, I bet you probably don't even remember me. And I'm like, of course I fucking don't. I was like 3. And then I think they might say this to you with the hope that you're like, no, of course I remember you, Auntie Sandra, because they like want to feel special.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even say that if you're not trying to look for that?
I always just say, yep, no, I remember.
Wait, who
See-
are these people who you're forgetting?
Like
Distant
old
relatives, family
yeah.
friends, like maybe like one of your mum's
Yeah.
friends.
Your mum's
or
auntie that lives overseas. And
I
she's
don't
come
really
back
know
over.
a lot about that.
Tell you what, I cracked the code there.
Exactly.
I introduced Maddie to some people whose names I did know, but at the time I just like said, oh, this is my girlfriend Maddie, and then Maddie was like, oh, sorry, what were your names?
Yeah,
and then
brilliant.
they said their names. Then I was like, even though I knew those people, I'm going to use this trick for anyone I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, oh, this is Maddie, and then listen for when they introduce themselves to Maddie.
Absolute classic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys don't know each other yet? Oh, but we're all so tight. This is crazy. What was the name? Anyway,
smart.
while we're on this silly mood, I thought we'd just get into a little bit of silliness.
Games.
Yeah, games indeed.
Yeah.
I would like you guys
There we go.
to pitch your perfect video game to me that you think will sell
Oh my gosh.
10 million copies. It doesn't actually have to be good. Just so you know, it doesn't actually have to be good.
Pokemon, that is working.
Think
That's a trillion
about well, I'll just give you guys a little prompt. Think about what is popular in games right now. So for example, I don't know, battle passes, battle royales, or indie games. I don't know. Think about something and then maybe turn that up to 11 and make it silly. Anyone want to go?
I think I've got it.
All right, let me just get into character. Can you press the sound effect while I get into
I
character?
got a full-on pitch. Okay, we're going back in time to this successful pitch that was yesterday before you gave me $1 million.
Wow, really?
Wait, wrong soundboard.
The
fellas.
wow really is pretty appropriate.
Oh.
All right, thanks for coming in today on such short notice. I know that you're an extremely busy man, Mr. Z. And I heard that you had a really, really great idea that you want us to publish at my extremely successful publishing agency, HopCat Games.
Yes.
Can you really give me just the short version of what the general premise is?
The short version, think Wii Sports, but for everyday life activities that everyone can relate to.
Well, like Wii mopping.
Well, that's a little bit of a lame one. We wouldn't include mopping. But there's lots of different ones in there. Wii Sports, fourth most selling game of all time, even compared to franchised games. Absolutely incredible popularity on the Wii because, why? Everyone could have fun, nice casual game, and everyone could relate to the sports. Not everyone can relate to a MOBA, League of Legends, that sort of thing, but everyone can relate to those sorts of things. I say we move away from sports and go to, say, making a coffee. You know, something like that, making some toast. Lots of little mini games like WarioWare, but actually make them fun, like Wii Sports.
Right. So are they all just menial tasks like making coffee and stuff like that?
No, more exciting ones, like maybe you're walking down the street and
Oh, that is exciting.
you get mugged and you need to use the Wii remote to sort of work your way out of that situation, dodge the stabs.
Pull out the knife.
Maybe not everyone can relate to that
Classic
one, but
everyday situation.
any type of thing you'd want to experience in a game but not real life, because a lot of people aren't fit enough to play baseball or bowling. They're not professionals, but you could be a professional at anything in Wii Sports. You could be a professional at cheating on your wife, and you
Oh,
could do
okay.
that in Wii Sports instead of real life. It's a healthy outlet.
Right. Well,
Wow.
I have more questions. I did decide to bring in my associate today here, Jackson.
Hello.
He also maybe had a few questions that he wanted to line up. Yeah, if not, I can jump back in.
I've
But
got a couple of questions, mate. How much is this game going to cost?
And see, that's the beauty of it. It's included for free with our new Nintendo VR system.
Oh, brilliant. And how are we
Which
going to make
is-
any money off this one, champ?
People buy the VR system because the game's so good. Wii Sports was given for free with the Wii. I say we copy that. We had a good thing going. Skipped it with the Wii U. That was a bit shit. But I say we go back to new system, free game that everyone wants.
Well,
Right.
Peter, I'm satisfied. Back to you, mate.
look, people do sports for fun. Who makes a coffee for fun when there's no incentive?
People that want a coffee.
But there's no coffee.
Nah, I got a
Tell
new
me,
game.
tell me
New
this,
game.
Peter. What do you like doing in your spare time?
I don't know. Fucking bitches.
Well, doing
Hell yeah, brother.
doing flips.
Oh, that yeah.
Well-
on top of yep.
I've just recalled that
Landing in.
there is a flipping game that you can play without physically exhausting yourself, and it's
Ooh.
just as fun.
Okay. All right, sweet. I'm satisfied.
That's great, mate.
I love it. All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
You want to get the fuck out of my office?
right.
I've got a really busy schedule. I've got a pooped one
Hello.
coming in. Pooped
mate.
one. Hey, how you doing, pooped?
Great.
Hello.
I have a genius idea.
Go on then.
VR, probably, for this one.
Copy.
As well.
Just real quick, when we do publish this, do we have to put the name pooped on the box?
And at least small writing, yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's the most popular thing at the moment? Boom. Send it to me.
Fortnite.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yep. Genius.
Olympics.
So
Oh.
people love TikTok apparently. I got it for the first time. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, apparently you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane. I reckon you make a game. You are a TikTok star, and you make a TikTok, and then it goes to, and then you're famous.
You are TikTok.
How? Why would you not just make a TikTok in real life?
Because
This
you
is
probably
like the
won't
same.
get famous. It's a bit hard to get famous.
No, it's easy on TikTok.
no, but everyone does it, and then you don't get famous.
No, but I already have.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Follow me on
Well,
TikTok,
for,
guys.
For the average human, I reckon they do a TikTok, and then it just gives them the dopamine of like, yeah, they just stand there and they do a little dance,
Right.
do a little boogie, and it goes.
Oh,
and then it's
pretend
like
likes.
Yeah, and then it's like 1 million likes. Well done.
Right.
And then you get famous.
Okay, I like that because also with TikTok you don't really get paid anyway. So why do people do it in real life?
Exactly. So you might as well get the guaranteed dopamine hit,
And you're putting
then-
yourself out there for no real gain.
exactly.
So why don't we just take away? Oh, this
Hold-
is good.
1 second. What if TikTok already does this? How do you verify that you've got that many
Oh
views on your
my
TikToks? What if they're
God.
faking it?
Yeah, you don't know. They just put a number there, don't they?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like comments
This
are
has changed my
comments are
life.
one thing, but it's mostly just views.
We might live in the
Like,
Matrix,
They
fellas.
could be buffing up the numbers.
Wow.
And then people could just love TikTok, and then there's more people. Oh my god! Wait, why would they not just fake it the whole time?
Yeah.
This is genius.
Sheesh, I think we may have worked something out in this silly little segment.
I'm gonna make a new app. called
Schmick
Tock Schmock.
Talk schmock.
And it's
Talk
gonna be
schmock.
fake.
Alright.
And then you can
And
put all
people
your
are gonna
fucking
like it because they think they're gonna be famous.
you can put all your Blimby man clips on Talk schmock.
Yeah, dude. But I did get TikTok for the first time to make like an account
Yep.
to post some videos.
I followed you.
And followed you back, I think.
What a human, eh?
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Man,
Fucking better, Ab.
These guys are friends, you know.
But it's crazy. I did not understand it, dude. Because
Yeah.
I guess it gives me it's just on computer. I didn't get it on my phone, but it's just like, it must be like when you first install it, it's like the default, what it shows people. And I was so confused. I don't get it.
I think what I've noticed from using TikTok is that it's super algorithm based on how long before you scroll off something.
Yeah.
So it'll just give you a smattering of stuff at first.
Yeah.
And whatever you tend to hover on, it will just spam you with that stuff
Crazy.
for so long afterwards. And it makes me realize that I'm interested in watching stuff I didn't realize I was interested in watching.
Oh,
because
that's
like
funny.
Example?
fishing.
Whoa.
Wow.
Because I am not a fisherman myself. I've
Yeah.
talked about this before. How I'm not that into it, but I love seeing what's in the ocean. Like if I go to the beach, I'll be like looking in rock pools and stuff. I love finding little
love
animals and
doing
stuff.
that
And so watching these people like fishing up stuff from the ocean, I was like, what the fuck is it going to be?
I didn't
And
get
it's such a
anything like
tease.
that.
They get such watch time from me because I'm
Yeah.
like, what are they going to pull up? And then I got to stay for the whole 30 seconds of them fighting the fish, which I don't care about at all. And then I'm like, oh, it's a groper. And then I swipe, but they've already got my 30 seconds.
They got the
I hardly know
time.
her.
And then I get more.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, so I think at the start you get a smattering of stuff, but then it really starts algorithming you really
Mine was
hard.
a lot of dancing young girls.
Yeah, mine has made its way off that eventually. It took its
Oh,
time.
okay.
It's just like, you're a male that's 24. Here you go.
And then it's just like, but then nothing happens. Like I think a joke's coming and then it ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, what?
That's a lot
It's-
of TikTok
it's it.
for me.
That's
It's
it.
just like here. It'll be a song that says like eating my pasta, and then someone will be eating their pasta, and then it'll go on to the next video.
Yeah, that's
Like,
trends.
what happened?
You just follow the trend, and then that is the joke in itself. You don't add your own punchline.
Yeah.
I hate it. I really hate
crazy.
it.
The algorithm does work quick though, because I remember one night Holly was on her TikTok, and then I was like, "Oh, here, I'm gonna watch some TikTok," and then just based on what I was stopping on, all her it just completely changed.
Yeah.
It completely changed within like 10 minutes, and then I gave her phone back, and she was like, "What have you done to my TikTok?" And it had like completely changed it to like, I don't know, like some UFC videos and like some boxing and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like, what the heck?
Because it's always listening. That's the other thing. Now we're all going to start getting fishing TikToks.
You know, it's kind of I guess I'm somewhat embarrassed, but not also very embarrassed to say. My TikTok at one point, which it's off it now, it became like 80% thirst traps. And I was like, man, like, I swear I'm not looking for these things. But then when you see like a attractive girl,
And you stop on it for a
you
little
stop on it
bit,
for a
and
second
it's like,
because
okay.
I'm like, brain, sexy girl, look, might as well, right? And then you're just like, oh, okay. And then you swipe. You don't like do anything else. And then next 10 of the same thing, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake. And then it just like overtook my TikTok. And then it got to the point where it was annoying me so much because I was like, I just want to look at my TikTok without someone trying to make me horny.
Yeah.
Like, is that too much to ask? That as soon as I saw one, I'd swipe it as fast as possible. I'd be like,
Change the algorithm.
yeah, like try and get them out of here. I'm sure there's something you can press that says I want to see less of that.
Safe for work.
But
TikTok.
yeah, I was just like, man, I need to actually make an effort to get it out of my algorithm
that's
now. It's
so
ridiculous.
I hate it.
Anyway,
Jackson's game.
Jackson, you got a game?
Yeah. Let me ask you, what's your favorite?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Zach, do you want to host this interview?
Hello, I'm looking for a new game.
I think I'm in the wrong office.
Yeah, come over to my office,
Okay,
mate.
hey,
That's
how's it
my
going?
neighbor. He thinks he's a game developer.
All right.
I'm here
I'll see you
too.
later. Okay, hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Can someone mute his microphone? Sorry. That's the neighbor. He's
That's all
he
right.
kind of gets a bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
Like
I can see him through the window.
his son
He's
died.
trying to get in.
Yeah, his son died in the war. He's lonely.
Right. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite thing to do in your day?
I mean, I already answered this question today. And
What's your favorite food?
You about to say pussy?
no, no.
Your favorite thing to do is flipping. Then your favorite food would be pancakes.
Yep, pancakes.
Introducing Flipping Pancakes, the game. What we're going to do is give you pancakes and it's going to feel like you're doing flips. So the core's going to be engaged, which I know you're into, and it's going to just be a great game for all ages.
Who besides me is going to want this game?
Now, Jordan, would you want to play that game?
Not really.
Jordan, did I tell you?
Yeah,
There's
yep.
UFC in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
UFC enchiladas.
Yep. Are you in?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'm in.
So target audience hit.
Can I play too?
This game is not for you, sir.
Okay.
Just a game that like looks up. It's like TikTok the algorithm.
Literally, just
But you just flip whatever you like.
you flip if you like the game, and it gives you a little mini game, and you flip, and then people can submit their own mini games.
My son would like that, but he don't.
No, you don't. Get out of here! Get out of here, James.
I used to love flipping pancakes.
I don't like this character. I gotta say,
I'm committed now.
this is my life now.
Please.
God. Yeah, I don't know
that's my
about your
game.
game, Jackson.
It's a bunch of mini games, and depending on what you're liking, the mini games, it'll give you ones based on that.
Yeah, but won't you just play the one mini game you like and then be over it?
no, because then you flip the pancake.
So
Are you
what?
listening?
So fucking
And then
what?
it gives you a new mini game.
You're a fucking
What if-
idiot.
No,
yeah,
no,
but I don't
sorry.
want the second mini game. The next one's
Sorry.
not flipping pancakes.
No, sorry. The first mini game was just flipping pancakes, and then you flip the pancake, and on the pancake is a game, and boop, you go into that game.
Oh, like
Is
a
the other
Mario
game also
Party.
flipping pancakes?
No, it's whatever the algorithm thinks you're gonna like. So for Jordan, he's gonna get UFC little mini
You know what the
games.
casual gamers love?
What are those games?
Like grappling and wrestling with men, or what do you like doing?
The casual gamers, I learned this from Maddie. They
Yeah.
love games that have like unlimited, like there's no finish, but you can try and beat your own high score. Think of like Temple Run, Doodle
See,
Jump,
I like
Subway
those
Surfer.
games.
Candy
Flappy
Crush is a bit
Bird.
like that, but like
Yeah.
in the long
I've
game.
exposed
Maddie
myself.
plays this one with like you've got to put
Flappy
blocks down, and
Bird.
it's like kind of
Tetris?
Tetris-y sort of thing.
I say Holly likes those ones where you're in the internet and it's like a cafe and
Yeah.
you've got to do the
I
orders.
think
So I
the
reckon-
main thing to this is that they're very
You're in the internet.
What? No, you know, on the internet, those
Yeah.
games and you're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
I don't know. Maybe you didn't.
Oh.
Go on. Sorry.
I'm just used to Jordan saying nonsense. I understand.
No one even listened. It was
Sorry,
like, yeah.
go on, Zach.
You do one of them for every single topic on Earth.
Oh,
So it's like Pancake Flipper. You flip pancakes, and it's like it's fun to play forever. And you keep trying to beat your own score of pancake flipping, and it
That's
gets
actually
harder.
exactly what this is.
so it's
yeah.
like Flappy Bird, but it's Flippy Pancake.
Yeah, and then UFC, you're trying to like grapple more and more men until you can't grapple any more
Until
men.
you can't get an
Yeah.
erection with women or something. How does
you
UFC
win.
work again?
And then you win.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
win.
no, the game can never be over.
Erectile dysfunction.
It's purchasable, so, like you
Yeah.
can purchase the upgrade in the in-game shop.
The DLC.
Yeah.
So
No, the thing with the casual games is that I think the trick is that a lot of people want something to turn their brain off to.
Yeah.
Because like if you're only a casual gamer, it means you're not dedicating a lot of your effort to playing a game.
Yeah.
So like if you're playing something like, let's say Overwatch, you need to be paying attention because it's like competitive
And
to
you're
some degree,
learning
and you're
the
trying and learning. So nobody's gonna want to do that. But like, pardon me. But those ones you were talking about, you kind of just go until you can't go anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the whole gameplay.
that's
And
what my game was. Exactly.
Yeah, like
that.
you can play it on the couch while watching The Office.
Yeah.
Random example.
And if you don't like the game at all,
not that Maddie ever does that. Just thought of that off the top of my head.
flip the pancake.
Flip the pancake.
Oh, that's good.
Very,
Thank you.
very cool.
Well, those were some fantastic games.
Do you want to
don't
do
have
one,
one,
Peter?
do you?
I
Peter?
don't have one though. I was just I'm just a executive,
Humble
you know.
host.
Speaking of games, no.
Smash is over.
No, let's talk about
Is that
Festival
not the-
Festival X first, then we'll talk
you're
about
going
that.
to have to wait
Oh,
even
yeah.
longer before hearing our thoughts on the Smash World Tour drama.
This one's pretty
like
funny. So there was a festival music festival in Perth. Actually didn't see much advertising for it before it happened.
No one I've talked to like really.
And
about.
so, like, I didn't really know it was on. And then our management agency, which we are actually joined with as the Underdogs, Click Management, who Zack was with for ages. I joined a few months ago. Jordan just joined himself.
Yeah.
We'll get an update on Direct to Cogger
I'm
channel.
not there yet, guys.
But he
the
is there on
Underdogs
the,
are the
but the Underdogs
Underdogs.
channel is now. So hopefully we're going to get some more brand deals to pay for our more ambitious ideas. Anyway, they said, anyone want to go to this festival? You get on the guest list. You'll get in for free.
For Don
for Don Toliver, who was one of the headliners. It was Calvin Harris and Don Toliver. And originally Megan the Stallion, but she pulled out of her Australia tour completely. But anyway, so he was one of the headliners.
Muscle twerking
And
or something.
and then so these guys, we signed up, we put it through our contact, they talked to their contact, we're on Don Toliver's guest list, and they basically say,
We're
just
his best
go
mate.
up to the thing, say you're on Don Toliver's guest list, and they'll just let you in. And we're like, fuck yeah.
And we donned to know him.
Yeah, and so
I
we're all
didn't
like
know who he was.
making jokes about being like, oh yeah, we're his best mate, yeah, haha, we're on his guest list. We're like all gassing ourselves up. We all get dressed up. We get to the festival. We go to the gate. I'm making jokes about because we got a +1. I was like, oh, Sophie, you're not on the guest list. They're not going to let you in. I'll be going in without you. We say to the lady, hey, we're on Don Toliver's guest list. And she looks at the list and she says, no, you aren't.
So how long did we wait there?
It was like
Maybe
45 minutes at least.
Oh, she had to call
Was
the
it actually that
manager.
long?
She had to get
wow.
the supervisor over. And then I was like calling Click, and then they were like, "Oh, it says you should be on there."
And I
Checking
felt
emails.
a little bit bad because Click is based in the eastern states, and it would have been 9 p.m. for them.
Yeah.
And then it was because it was about 6 for us, and so like it was Sunday night. 9 p.m. and we're just like calling all our contacts, being like, "We can't get in. Help us, please." Because we're not famous as we thought. We really thought we'd just walk in, but eventually it did work out. But it was pretty funny to really gas ourselves up and try to, say we have lots of clout, and then absolutely get shut down instantly.
I pulled the golden play button out of my backpack, and that didn't even get
Didn't
me
even
in.
get a hedge to
Yeah,
turn.
take it with me everywhere.
And what was quite funny was Maddie was trying to talk to this person, and she was like, "Check for their real names. Maybe it's under a little Z." Like,
I've had it before. I got invited to a movie premiere once, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, can you check the list for Zack Trahan?" Then she was like, "Nothing." And then Maddie was like, "Look for the surname Z." And then she was like, "Here it is, first name Little." And I'm like, "Fucking hell."
so yeah, but just telling me was like, "Oh yeah, they're YouTubers. We got Poppet1, TT1. Yep, that's the one.
PPT one,
P-
actually.
HopCat.
Yep.
Like the animal and the hopping on one leg. Yep.
Right,
And
I
we're
wasn't
in these-
there, guys, just in case you're picturing
Yeah.
me
Shocking.
sort of bouncing around the back. Was
Shocking.
not.
See, I would have gone home instead of getting in for Little Z, but like Maddie was very keen on this festival, so she was like, "Right, Little Z, HopCat, Pop It might be under the Underdogs group on YouTube. Here's a video of them doing Shark Tank. Watch it through, give it a like." She was fucking doing anything in her power to get us in.
Yeah.
And eventually we did get in. I don't think they even found us on the list.
Oh,
We just-
no,
we
they
just
gave up.
Loitered long
So a
enough.
little life hack for those watching.
No,
Wait
don't say
around long
that.
enough, you might get in.
If you stand at Zach's door for long enough, he'll have to let you in.
And we got a VIP ticket.
Yeah, it was great.
So that's worth
Pretty baller.
It was worth it.
That's the most famous I've felt. Free VIP ticket.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking when you were telling the story how none of us really know Don Toliver. But what
I
if
know Don Toliver.
knows us? Oh, I know of him, but like, what if he said, I
Underdogs.
fucking love these guys. I know they're in Perth. Get them on the list.
He did
And
not say
was-
that.
He was scanning the crowd for 3 underdogs.
And we were held up at the door.
Oh, and we
Feels
didn't get
bad.
in.
Feels bad.
There was
Yeah, he
actually a
definitely
point-
wasn't thinking that.
There was a point in the show where he said, "Can I get my underdogs to come up and play doubles with a twist on stage?"
He would have been Devo when he found out I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best underdog.
Actually, he could have just replaced you. It probably would have worked out better.
He was saying, "I want to try the salami." And
What was he actually? It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy,
I'm Don
man.
Toliver.
but apart from that, we watched Calvin Harris there, and he was sick.
He was pretty cool.
So,
It was a pretty good time, but I'm glad we did eventually get in. But
Oh, yeah.
we
Oh,
really
yes.
thought we were famous for a hot minute, and then got shut down so
after
quickly.
having prees and everything, and,
Yeah.
like, getting hyped up for it.
So you guys were all lit, rock up. Not
Yeah.
lit.
I didn't get too lit, but yeah,
Respect.
pretty lit.
Damn.
Makes sense though. I didn't. There were actually a lot of people on this guest list. Like people rocking up. It was like 50-50 were going to the guest list line. Not gonna lie, to get in. But it must just be a thing that if they're out at
I think it was because we were so late. So the people who
Yeah.
are willing to get there so late are the people who haven't paid for it themselves.
Yeah,
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like if you were there at like midday when the thing started, I feel like there'd be way more general access because
Yeah.
you're getting your money's worth rather than getting something free. Whereas like we were like, oh, let's just go for the things we really want to see.
But we must have seen at least like almost 30 people come in and also be on the guest list. So
Dude, there was people there and they were like, yeah, Don Toliver came into our shoe shop yesterday.
gave us some.
And he was like,
tickets.
yeah, I'll slap you on the guest list and we'll get him in. They also weren't on the guest list.
Yeah.
I reckon Don Toliver's just going around stitching people up. He's just
Yeah, you're on
laying
the
down
guest list. Come on in.
laying down the prank patrol. He's like, oh yeah, you're on the guest list. He's like, fucking idiots.
But it must be a strat from like famous people to be like, oh yeah, just get as many people with any kind of influence in
Yeah, definitely.
as possible.
Because then
We're talking about it
advertise
now. We're gassing him up.
True.
We're talking about him.
Surely at least one person has typed in Don Toliver.
Definitely.
I was going
We
to
need
do that
to-
when we
yeah.
finished
Yeah,
here.
it
We
works.
got to clear the. We got to get Don Toliver on the podcast. We got to get to the bottom of this. Don, if you're around, give us a
Maybe-
call.
Should we have a guest list for our podcast?
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and then we turn people away when they get here.
yeah, we only let one person in.
Good.
I'll just give away my address and we'll get a line of fans out the door.
Yeah.
We'll say,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you're all on the guest list. You all get to come in. and then we'll get Sophie at the door to just turn them away.
That's amazing.
Also, just real quick, the manager they called over was so useless, and she was clearly not trying to help us at all. And I was like, fuck you. It was like, so we get this click person who was really helping us out a lot by doing this at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night for her. And we get her on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, put me on with the person at the door." And we're like, "Hey, do you want to talk to the person who got us the connection?" She was like, "Nah, the people who they're really strict about who's on the list here, so no." And we're like, "What?"
So strict we got let in anyway.
We're like, we're meant to be on the list, and we're trying to like get you to talk to the person who's going to sort this out. And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Bro, what is wrong with you?" I don't know. That annoyed me. And then like Zack was being too agreeable. And then I was like, man, let me in there. I'll Karen this bitch.
Oh, I hate being a Karen.
Oh, I do too usually.
I'll do it as a last resort, but I fucking had a big Karen moment at Red Rooster the other day. Did I tell you guys about this?
No, you also should explain what Red Rooster is.
So Red Rooster is like a chicken joint, a bit similar to KFC, I guess.
Yeah.
It might be Australia only. Anyway, go to Red Rooster. Me and Maddie get 2 boxes. The box is meant to come with a burger, 2 wings, chips, drink.
Oh, you told me this.
That sort of thing. So we each get a box, and I'm waiting in the line for like 5 minutes, and then I see her put like 2 boxes in this bag, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be our food. And then she calls out the wrong number. I was like 91, and she calls out 93, and then so I'm like, oh, it must not be mine. Another 5 minutes passes, and she's called out like 93 like a few times, and just no one's answering. And then eventually, I'm like, surely that was our order. I go up and like ask her about it, and she's given me the wrong receipt. So it said the wrong number on it. And then I was like, so our chicken's gone a bit cold. I was like, okay, we'll get the chicken. Open up the boxes. My box, instead of having 2 wings, has 1 in, and Maddie's has 0 wings.
Oh.
1 out of 4 wing accomplishment ratio.
1 out of 4 wings.
Yeah. So I go back up. I'm like standing to the side. I'm like, can we get some more wings, babe? Did not say babe.
Said babe to her. He was sweet. He was chatting her up.
Yeah. And then she was serving a customer. She was like, 1 second. She saw that I was upset. She goes and gets them their drink. Starts serving another customer as I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Finishes serving that customer. Goes to serve a third customer as I'm clearly standing there waiting to ask. Then I interrupted her serving this person because I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, excuse me, we didn't get our wings.
Babe.
Then she goes to the kitchen.
Babe.
She tells someone in the kitchen to get us more wings. The lady like brings back the boxes, and she's like, all good. I take them, go sit down. They've still missed 1 wing. We're at 3 out of 4 wings at this stage.
And they're all cold. You know they're all cold.
I go back up to the counter, and the lady looks at me dead in the eye, continues to serve the current customer she's on, whatever, goes and gets them their drink, in which she has to walk past me again, and then looks at me, starts serving another fucking customer. She's just ignoring me. And then I interrupted her again. It was very loud, not quite a yell, but I was like, we just need 1 wing. I was like, she's like ignoring me, trying to serve this whole line of people before dealing with me who's already got my food, but there's an issue. And I'm like, surely I take priority before 3 people in line. And then I interrupted her like, we need 1 wing. And then the lady from the kitchen comes out. It's a whole thing. I look like an asshole when really she's made me wait an extra 15 minutes just serving people in the line.
You never should have called her babe.
Yeah.
That was not in the story. Holy shit, I've got a second story about fried chicken.
Oh my God.
All the people were waiting for the panda conversation, and Zach's just like, I have not 1 but 2 stories about buying
After
chicken.
this, we should talk about the panda.
Yeah, so that was the Red Rooster debacle.
Yeah.
Fucking,
What happened at KFC, though?
I reckon 20 minutes after.
Fighting for
We
3
ordered.
wings, fighting for your life out
And
there.
like, honestly, didn't give a shit about the 1 last wing. But at this point, I am going to fight for whatever I can.
Yeah.
Like, I almost asked for like a free large
a
chips or
Spartan
nuggets or
warrior.
something, even though I was like full. It's like, just give me something.
It's on
for being
principle.
Such a bitch. Anyway,
Babe, you're being a bit of a
We're
bitch.
sorry.
fried chicken story number 2.
I'm still open to a Red Rooster sponsorship, by the way, guys.
So me and Maddie got KFC 2 nights ago.
Oh, it was KFC.
And this is a new KFC. So this is a new fried chicken story.
Yeah.
We got some chicken. I eat
Kentucky Fried?
Standard?
Yeah, Kentucky Fried.
wow.
I eat my whole burger. I believe I had a piece of chicken as well. Maddie is eating some wicked wings, and then she smells them. She goes, "Do these smell off to you?" They smelled quite sour, like as if vinegar was one of the 11 secret herbs and spices. Is how I'd describe it. So kind of like a bit of an off chicken smell.
Yeah.
And you don't want off chicken. Real bad news.
No.
So I say, oh, maybe don't eat the wicked wings. She was like eating her zinger burger. Halfway through that, she goes, oh, I think my zinger burger's bad too. Like I had a sniff. I thought the zinger burger was okay, but she was like, I'm going to be safe. And she went and made herself throw up because she was that worried about
Jeez.
food
wow.
poisoning. It did smell pretty bad and she had eaten a fair bit. Then I was like, oh, I'm glad mine didn't smell like that. Today, I think I've got salmonella.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Or maybe it's Campylobacter, which is what I've actually had before, which is
Who's
a
that?
bacterial infection that comes from bad chicken. And, like, I don't want to get too in detail, but
Do it.
on top of diarrhea, it's kind of a swamp green shade.
Okay. If you,
Yeah, what
if
was
that's-
too much detail?
I don't want to know what the detailed version of the story is. If that was the basic version,
I've had it
Swamp
once
green
before, a bit of a
diarrhea.
Shrek shit, which was when I had Campylobacter. So I think it might be the same thing.
yeah, shit.
And that was
What's the
I
difference
just
between that and salmonella?
They're just different bacteria.
this KFC was last night, and then the very next day was when I had
Yeah,
this.
that's a bad sign.
And it's like I've never really had it look this bad, so I feel like it is like a chicken related.
Well, let us know if you need to run
bacterial
off.
infection.
Do not hang around.
Zach's gonna finally start telling his panda story, then shit his pants.
It's been mostly okay since this morning. Thanks for asking, guys.
Oh,
That's
good.
good.
Like-
Well, I wouldn't have known. You were like a champ this morning. You were like super ready to record.
But
Is
I
that because
guess
you like
my-
woke up at 5 a.m. to shit?
I haven't felt like as bad, so it must not have been the worst, but it's definitely something going on past the ordinary. I don't think it's regular food poisoning. But yeah,
that's
I-
real grim.
It must have been like in most of the chicken there, so
That is terrible.
It's probably all the same batch and stuff. There's probably no difference. It's probably
Yeah.
just like if you don't stop to try and sniff it or something, or you don't have a super sensitive sense of smell. It's probably all the same. I was gonna say with like the wicked wings or something, it's like Maddie might have been put off by the smell, and once you start really sniffing every little thing, you're
Yeah.
gonna like notice
hang
anything. But it
on.
sounds like it might have all just been
Bad.
that's
fucked.
why I thought mine was like, oh, mine's good at least. Big
That is
mistake.
yuck. All right, well, guys, fast food bad for you, and real bad for you in terms of that one as well.
Bad
Speaking of
and
shit.
potentially very bad.
Speaking of shit,
Alan.
how shit's this Smash situation?
Yeah.
We're finally there, audience. You made it.
I actually think the best way to put it is just that it's incredibly shit for everyone.
Yep.
Like now, Alan said his piece. Smash World Tours had their rebuttal. All that. Honestly, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of who I think was right and wrong because it's all hearsay. I don't think it. I don't think I'm going to add anything to the conversation. You make up your own mind. Like, seems like most people are against Alan. He's leaving the scene. Let's all move on. But the fact that Smash competitive is just like so fucked by everything, like losing 2 massive circuits, that's
Yeah,
the real
that
shame.
sucks.
You know what's also upsetting is that it's once again bad for Smash's reputation in the wider gaming community
Yeah.
because
That's true.
You never get any positive stories when you talk about drama, and like these things only reach mainstream channels like Ludwig's Mogul Mail
When they have drama.
when they have bad things, and so like there's not enough wide-reaching good stories, and so people just hear about like these like. You know, the whole like pedo cancelling drama from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now this one, which is things getting cancelled. Like, I feel like if I wasn't more in deep in the Smash community, I'd have such a bad impression about it because they're the only things that reach the greater community, I guess.
Yeah, well, other than Ludwig's been hosting some, like he hosted one tournament not too long ago. Now he's hosting one for this.
Yeah, that's
as
good.
well, which is kind of crazy. But
I was so excited for both the circuits, and like now I'm
Yeah.
excited for Scuffed World Tour, but it's not the same as like what we were building up to. And like both of them make sense that Smash World Tour cancelled with their like very vague Nintendo statement, regardless of whether you think that like Nintendo was or wasn't going to cancel the event. Like them reading between the lines is fully understandable to cancel, and then. Obviously, Panda postponing. I don't know if the Panda Cup finale will go along. I feel like I should say I don't have any knowledge of any of the things going behind the scenes with Panda Cup or Panda.
Yep.
yeah,
Like I didn't know. I felt like that should be obvious to a lot of people. But here's what I did for Panda. I have since left. But what I used to do was record videos to put on their YouTube channel, put their sponsors on my streams, like stream a certain amount of times per month, and that's basically it. You know, wear their merch in videos occasionally, stuff like that. Like,
Yep.
I'm on the team.
Well,
but-
it wasn't like you were working on any behind the scenes stuff for them.
Any
It was like
knowledge.
you were like paid by them to make videos for them.
And I did get flown to Florida to film some videos with Panda once. That was a really cool opportunity. And I've had nothing but good experiences with like the whole team, including Alan. But I also don't know anything going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I obviously haven't worked with Panda like you have, but I was in one video on their channel. Just they were like, hey, we need to fill in for this channel. Do you want to come do it? And I was like, sure. And then I did a video with them, and that was all cool. And the guy I talked to, who was Panda Josh, who has since also left, was super nice to work with.
Yeah.
Like, really great guy. And I think something I really did appreciate about his way of going about things is that he wasn't full of corporate nonsense. He didn't talk around points. He was just very candid with me, even though he didn't even know me, which was very cool. So,
Josh is great.
yeah, it just goes to show that there are a lot of people there in the situation who are blindsided by this as well, and are well-meaning people and generally good people, and it's just pretty unfortunate.
I think people have just now started to do a good job of separating like all the Panda staff, players and employees from Alan as an individual. Not that Alan should be getting any of the doxing and harassment that he's getting. Like that's.
But
I think
if people are
definitely
like
too
screw
far.
Panda as a whole, makes
Everyone was
really
saying
no
that day
sense.
one, and like it didn't even make sense for me to, in my mind, to have a statement about it because I felt like it didn't involve me. But when all I'm seeing on the timeline day one is fuck Panda, like I felt like I had to come out and say like, hey, didn't know about this. And then everyone was like, oh my God, thank God you didn't know about this. And I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, what did you expect? Zach's like plotting in his
Yeah,
room.
it seemed obvious in my mind.
Got him
They
again.
should go check the Underdogs real life channel to see what kind of nonsense we're doing. Because if they watch one of our videos, they're like, no way, this guy's
That guy
planning the
doesn't plot.
yeah, this guy ends up planning everyone's demise.
And that's part of the reason why I did end up leaving because it's just not worth it to be associated with them as a brand. Also, a large reason was their response to the whole situation did not give me much faith in, like, their statement just sucked. The first one they
Yeah.
released, like, Alan said in his longer one that it was, like, he kind of froze up and, you know.
Yeah, he did say he was getting like
understandable.
harassed and had a panic attack and stuff. So I can totally understand taking longer. And then he wanted to be safer and pass it through legal people, which is generally known as good advice. You know, people are like, don't say anything until you've talked to a lawyer. People always say shit like that.
But with
what
Twitter-
people needed in that moment was a genuine response. But that's also incredibly risky to do yourself.
Yeah.
And Twitter passes judgment on you in like 12 hours.
God, the thing I've learned most about this whole experience is just fuck smash Twitter even more than
It's garbage.
the Stephen Cuzzier shit that was happening. Like just reading the replies to Alan's statement from people who have no doubt not read any of it and still formed an opinion. I don't care. Like if you read the whole 32-page document, you still think he's in the wrong, whatever. But if you're replying to the tweets, shut the fuck up, bitch, and you haven't read his side of the story, isn't that how a lot of people ended up changing their opinions on Naro and other people that got cancelled too early?
Isn't it weird that people say like they feel proud of saying shit like didn't read but ratio, and it's like, are you proud of being an ignorant idiot? Is that something that you're trying? Oh, I'm getting likes for saying I'm not going to read that. It's like,
The problem is yes.
Congrats.
Is yes. Yeah.
it's like, why are you proud of that? Like, it's just like
likes. Woo.
proud of being ignorant, and people are like, yeah, I'm ignorant too, so I'm going to hit the like. It's
Yeah.
So I read through Alan's entire statement and then the Smash World Tour one after. I obviously felt like I owed him that. He did a lot for me. And I don't really know what's going on. Obviously, a lot of TOs are coming out against Alan. Doesn't look good for him in that regard. I think the most accurate thing I've seen from people saying it is just a lot of TOs not really knowing how to communicate with each other and not knowing how to help each other's best interests. And then it all becomes a bit of a shit fight from the top few leaders.
Yeah. Even in Australia, I remember when I was doing TOing, it can get weirdly competitive with one another when really we should all just work together. I know this is very happy go lucky sort of attitude.
Bit blue pilled of you.
Yeah, but people get very competitive about their tournaments and want them to be the best, which is natural. But there's one every weekend, so we'll just it's fine. How's that for a statement?
You got to imagine the reason that I don't know if the other TOs, not being against Panda, but Panda working with Nintendo surely did not do them any favors in the TO community.
They would definitely
because-
ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, Nintendo's notorious for having shut down events in the past, like the Big House 10, which is one of the reasons Smash World Tour didn't want to fuck with their statement when Nintendo said, you don't have a license, but technically we didn't cancel you.
Yeah.
I think that the problem is that at its core, the problem is with Nintendo wanting to shut things down, right? Like none of this would be a thing if that wasn't a thing that's happened in the past and is maybe happening now. They said you should, or it's quite confusing.
Yeah.
But historically, Nintendo's always done this.
It's very opposite to Nintendo being like, yeah, woohoo, go ahead. We've fixed everything.
And that is the main problem. But then you don't have a choice but to deal with that if you want to play Smash, because that's the people who make the game you're playing. Like, you don't have a choice. So nobody wants to direct their negative energy towards Nintendo when really that is the source of the problem.
Yeah.
So they just need something to blame. They need someone to blame. They need to pin it on something, because I feel like at the end of the day, who do you think does worse off, even if Alan from Panda is guilty, or even if what he says, which is that VGBC has orchestrated this thing, who's the biggest problem? It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
But they're so
That's
big
not an
and
easy
invincible.
target,
They're an impossible to fight target. So everyone's like, I'm going to blame someone else. And then everyone's just like fighting each other when they all want the same thing at the end of the day. When everyone's, I don't want to say enemy, it sounds dramatic. Everyone's enemy is Nintendo stopping these things. Everyone's on the same side, but because Nintendo's invincible, they all just fight each other. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
rough.
I'll just end with the too long didn't read of what I think. I have now left Panda. I don't think it's worth me having an opinion on who's right and who's wrong, because I don't know anyone personally and I knew nothing behind the scenes. I just made videos for Panda. And this obviously all fucking sucks for the Smash scene in many, many ways. So
look
That's
forward
it.
to some variety videos.
maybe.
Dude, I don't want to name names, but I was seeing in some people's private Twitter circles, people being like, should I start branching out into other games? Should I make content for other stuff? And it really makes people worried for their existence as a creator, which is completely fair enough. Because, Jordan, you've started doing variety content with a spattering of Smash.
Yeah.
Zack makes some more variety videos. I make some more variety videos. It's like everyone is kind of like on the Smashers falling off train. Should we talk about that? Do you think that's a bad thing to talk about?
Smash falling off.
I think it's a bit interesting.
Elephant in the room sort of thing.
It is, right? Nobody wants to say it.
I think it's... You know what? I also think it is a little bit. Because, in terms of Smash falling off, it's kind of like Smash YouTube falling off. And I don't think it's me being like, wow, I'm not getting more views, because you see it on every channel. I think I've seen Hungrybox's views drop. Peter, your Smash videos are getting less views than your other gaming ones, as a direct comparison.
Well, yeah, it's not a matter of each individual person falling off. Alfred gets great views on his other videos, and he doesn't really do, his Smash ones probably do the
Actually, his
same,
Smash
if not
ones-
worse.
His Kirby one lately was a banger.
Yeah, but that was an hour long. The amount of work in that better do fucking well, dude. How was any Smash creator meant to compete with that?
But yeah, it's also... I've noticed YouTube as a whole, losing a few views because of TikTok and Shorts.
Yeah?
Long form content. I feel like it's not on the main channels. I think Mr. Beast and Airac and all them are still doing the same numbers as they always have. But on mid-level creators, I've seen numbers drop a little bit. I don't know if it's any correlation or it's just me seeing that with Smash content, because I'm obviously pretty in the Smash YouTube sphere. Yeah.
I feel like YouTube in general has become less accessible to make videos for. The standard is
There's
so
a
much
bit of
higher.
a change happening.
Yeah. People always talk about the golden age of YouTube. I think I've talked about it before on the podcast. But we've talked about other things before on the podcast. But basically, I watched an Airac video, for example. I'd never seen any of his videos before. 9-minute video that had filmed over the course of a week. Who has the time to do that when you're not a full-time YouTuber? If you film something, and he puts a lot of effort in for 9 minutes over the course of a week, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good video, but that's the standard now. It's so hard.
Do you reckon it's Mr. Beast has single-handedly pushed the meta? Is how I would say it.
but-
It was already going like that. He just did it the best.
That's what I mean. But then it's now there's way more talk about it, and way
guess.
more talk in general about how to make good YouTube videos, which I feel like didn't exist when the number one person was PewDiePie playing Happy Wheels again, and it would be every day for 20 minutes.
It'll go in ebbs and flows, though. I don't know if you guys
but
have
I think
seen
there's
the
a
video.
general quality that people are aiming for nowadays that before wasn't really
Yeah,
there
but that
as
doesn't
much.
necessarily mean money. It can be fully skill-based. I think Ryan Trahan is a good example of... I think he could make a good video on a topic that doesn't require him to spend any money. He's done one recently where he invited a bunch of celebrities to his birthday party just like DM'd them and turned it into a story about his birthday. And it's like, it's the storytelling and the editing and how his personality in the videos and all that stuff that doesn't require money too.
I don't agree at all.
Really?
No way. Well, I mean, you're saying he has to invite celebrities over. How does someone with no followers do that?
No, he just DM'd. They didn't respond to any of his messages.
Right.
He just DM'd random celebrities that had open DMs.
I agree with it not
Insta.
being about money.
Okay,
More
also-
just about being time.
Yeah, time
big
and like
commitment.
editing skills and stuff.
yeah.
Like the bar is so high because like time is money. You can't just do an unedited upload of a
Genius
gameplay anymore like you used to be able to and get good views. Like that shit tanks because the standard, it needs to be smart, choppy, fast, well edited, good color grading, good audio. Before it was just like fucking slap it up there. You know, like it's not like you need to spend money on the video concept, but you need to have a good setup, which costs money and time.
I think thinking of ideas is the most important part these days. Like, if you see an interesting idea from a completely unknown person, that could just go viral. If they have a
Definitely.
good like story.
But all of those have been filmed over the course of like a week or a month.
Some of them are. Some
the
are
time
like,
is unavoidable.
we
You're
can
right.
drop this basketball off the well. Well, how does that work?
Yeah, but they have multiple camera angles. They have slow-mo cameras.
Normal
they have
people
everything.
can't chug drinks for a week and upload it.
Like there
the
is,
production value is just naturally higher.
there's 100% an entry barrier now where there used to be no entry barrier, because like like we started making videos with not a lot of editing experience and then like just a computer recording thing or an Elgato or something, which is a bit of an entry barrier, but it's not the same as like some of the stuff they have to have now.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense because I was telling you guys that like an idea for a video I want to do sometime next year is like some kind of like 30, 50 days like running, working out like as much as I can with like a good diet to try and like body transformation
Yeah.
video. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like I'll commit to it because my whole job will be making that video.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's pretty privileged.
Yeah, how can anyone else do that
Because
now?
I'm in a good position to do that.
Which I think is why TikTok is so popular now, is because
That's
anyone can
very
make it.
accessible
Yeah,
now?
it's super accessible. It's like recorded on your phone for one, so it's way more accessible than YouTube ever was in the first place. You don't even need a camera. You just have your phone, you just do it. It has inbuilt editing in TikTok. You don't have to edit the video yourself. Like that's another entry barrier. It just removes all these barriers.
Yep.
And then everyone can make it, and so that's why it's so appealing to
and you don't have to
grassroots
come
people.
up with ideas. You just
Yeah.
copy other
You just
people's
copy
ideas.
Even
one
better. Even better.
That's true. TikTok's become the easy thing to make videos, far easier than what YouTube is
Oh,
now.
yeah. Oh,
True.
yeah.
That's
That's why it's so popular with young people.
Oh, these young people.
I say that I'm part of the young people, guys. I'm
Yeah,
part of the
yeah,
group.
Sure you are, man.
I'm one of them.
Guys, follow my TikTok.
So,
That's interesting.
Dr. Allen's response to the whole statement. Don't worry, I'm not dredging it back up. But his response to the statement was maybe the most embarrassing thing in Smash this week. Did you guys see the second most embarrassing thing?
No.
Thanks, Jackson.
Nope.
For giving me a response. What was his name?
Are we meant to know this?
No. True DCA is a hero player. And at a tournament recently, he's playing game 1 against an Ice Climbers. I think they're at solo popo this stage. He gets an up tilt, gets the zoom in screen, and he pops the fuck off.
I saw this.
Doesn't kill.
I saw
Hero
this.
up tilt. He's out of his chair. He's jumping all over the
Against
stage.
Big D's ice
Yeah,
climbers.
Big D drops down with the popo and just smash attacks.
What, he drops the controller. He's not even
Yeah,
paying
it's
attention.
like one of those
Yeah.
videos of like celebrating too
Oh,
early as they're like
no.
about to win the 100
Yeah.
marathon, and then someone runs by. It was the Smash Bros equivalent of that.
But it was about to win game 1. It
so
wasn't even game
Pop it off
3.
for game 1.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, and then pops off for game 1,
Jesus.
loses the match, and he's like, he doesn't even look at the screen when he loses. He's still popping off.
No.
It's crazy.
Oh, the dramatic irony of watching that.
Everyone's
So
quote
good.
retweeting saying like he's not in our region anymore. Like we've kicked him out.
That's great.
So I was gonna maybe end the podcast by just talking about some of our embarrassing Smash tournament moments. Jordan, I know you were pretty embarrassed when I,
I
beat
lost
you.
to
at-
you once,
Yeah,
that's what
lost to
I'm-
me
How many
once.
times will you bring that up?
As long as it takes.
Takes to what?
I don't know. Make everyone think I'm better than you.
No,
God.
we got a lot more left then.
See you
Yeah,
fellas at the retirement home.
Perfect.
On my deathbed.
We're talking about this a little bit at lunch, but I used to play Wario in Smash 4. Character was pretty terrible, which may come as a surprise to people who played Ultimate. Wario's a pretty good character in this game, but in Smash 4, he was pretty shit, but he had the waft. So how do you win games when you've got nothing good except for a move that takes 2 minutes to charge? Well,
Charge
you
it.
camp people for 2 minutes. So I would do a bit of circle camping against people I didn't like or just when I really wanted to win, and it would never work out well for me. Like, I think there's about 5 examples of a match where I was circle camping. There's one where it's literally doing the 5...
They're on YouTube, right? On
Yeah,
the Big Win
yeah.
Big Win
Smash.
Smash top 5.
I think I put one in
Top
an
5
Underdogs
mistakes
video
or
that I
something.
recorded once because
The
I was
one
like,
you put
this
in.
reminds me of the time that this happened, and then I went and found the clip and put it in an Underdogs video. I
wow.
don't remember which one, so don't bother trying to find. Actually, no, try to find it. Watch all the videos.
I think the most famous one is where the timer starts going 5, 4,
So good.
3, counting down. And I'm like, oh, I got the match. I got the percent lead. Let me try to start stalling off stage. So I jump off. I do the bike.
Yep.
Jump off that. And then I go to waft. And I think I forgot or didn't realize that I had used my waft already.
No, it's because it got eaten in a trade earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of the waft that flies me up, stalling me off stage and winning me the match, Wario does the little toot, goes and dies.
It falls off the
So
bottom and
With
dies.
legit 1 second left.
Yep.
And I believe it was wise Zack that stood up and went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smack the table.
Yeah,
I
there's
was-
like
Yeah.
the
I was,
clip and there's a nice thud.
I was commentating that.
Yeah, I remember watching it from behind.
Yeah.
I'm probably in the
And I
background of
never-
a face cam or something.
I never liked losing to the person that I lost to, that guy.
Do you like
know
losing
those-
to anyone?
Nah, but you know those people that you like. I just had it in my mind that I was better than him,
Right.
and like usually I would win. But if I ever lost, it would make me like more mad than the average opposite player.
Yeah.
Me.
Just skill issue sort of thing. Like, obviously, I wasn't that much better if I.
Well, you don't feel
still
outplayed,
lost like
you
a
just-
third of the
yeah.
time, but it's more like, oh, this person's so stupid that I shouldn't be losing. Me having that mindset, and then I lost in that way.
Good times.
So funny.
Good times.
Not
I've seen
for-
that
not
clip.
for me.
Stupidest way as well.
Not for me. Did you guys have any particularly embarrassing moments? In
I was genuinely
going
going
to
to say when losing to you.
Oh.
I can't think of what I don't know what my other ones.
Do you have any
would be.
really bad upsets when you like traveled or anything where you just got like walloped by like a random character?
No, I remember what it was.
Go
Do you
on.
remember Snugs?
Yes. This
There
is
was a
it.
tournament. Yeah,
This is it.
This is my most embarrassing. Was it a crew battle? Or no, it was
No, it's
genuinely the
just in set.
tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
A major tournament, and I was versing this guy that I should definitely beat. He was still really good.
He played Ryu?
Played Ryu, one of the best players
He
in
was
Victoria.
really good after this point. Up until that point, I don't think he was like ranked in Victoria or anything.
He had a few good.
He
but yeah.
started to get good, but he wasn't like.
And this was when I was like doing pretty, like I could top 8 majors and stuff.
You were top 5 in Australia,
and then
probably.
I was versing this guy, completely cooked. He was super drunk.
Yep.
Because he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna lose. It's pop it.
Yep.
I'm gonna lose. I'm just gonna drink." And then he just beat me. And I don't know what happened because he was also playing Ryu and I was playing Ness, and I was really good at that matchup as well.
Yep.
Like I remember Mr. R came over, and when he was beating everyone in money matches. And he was playing some Ryu as well, and I like literally beat Mr. R, and he was like, "Wow, you're really good at that matchup." Meanwhile, I lose to this drunk guy, Snugs, and that was me out of the tournament.
Dude, sometimes you need the confidence. You
I know.
Run in, make the good approaches. Maybe he just needed to loosen
Yeah.
up.
It was a bit fearless.
And I was probably very scared as well, being like, "How am I losing to this drunk menace?" And everyone's going crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely like some of the best energy I've ever felt in a room.
Yeah,
at a
because
Smash
he was
tournament.
from Melbourne, Victoria, which is the most popular
Yeah.
state for Smash Bros.
And they
in
also
Australia.
get the loudest.
And they get the honestly now it's WA, which is funny.
Oh, that's interesting.
But back then it was definitely Victoria who
Yeah.
was like the most hype.
Yeah.
And yeah, I lost, and I was like, damn. And then Australia losing a major is so much worse because in America it's like, oh man, lost a major. Go to the next one in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Australia, it's like there'll be another one in.
Particularly back then.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better now, but it was like 5 a year.
Like
It's
3
the-
months
it's the
between
same.
each one.
It's the same.
And it's a mission to travel to each one. You
Yeah.
can't just road trip it. It's like a full-on flight.
You got to fly for 4
So you're really
hours,
going to like 3 a year.
saving up your money. You go there, and it's like, oh man, lost to this drunk Ryu.
That's the drunkest I've ever seen you that night, probably.
After that,
You drunk your sorrows away.
did I? I can't
yeah,
remember.
I remember.
And then
Well,
you-
of course you can't.
It'd be
that makes
funny
sense.
if you rematched him and won. You get drunk and you're
I
like,
don't
now we're on
know."
the same level.
So yeah, that's mine.
That's a very good one. I was embarrassed for you. That's probably my moment too.
Oh, cough out.
Go on, Jackson.
No, I've told most of my embarrassing
Give
stories.
us the Big Win Via story.
All
I
right.
love that one.
So I just lost to someone I shouldn't lose to in round 1 and then dropped down to losers round 1. So I lost in winners round 1 down to losers round 1. And at that point, I was a player that was probably going 2-2 most weeks. So you loses round 1, you're going to win that one. Sit down and I start typing in my name and I write Big Win Beer. And the guy goes, oh, so I guess I know how this set's going to go then. You're probably going to beat me. And I was like, yeah, probably, you know.
I feel like it's important to note that up until this point, your name at tournaments had been DJ
Oh, yeah,
Insano.
DJ Insano at this point. So
Why did you type in Big Win Beer?
I was just so mad at myself for losing my round 1. So I was like, time to pep myself up. Big Win Beer. That'll really raise the spirits.
You know, that's gas yourself up.
Yeah.
So the guy says, you know, guess I'm going to lose then. I said, that's probably, mate.
The beer's
Sorry.
for him. The big win's for you, but he gets a beer.
Anyway, I got 2-0. And the name stuck for a very long time
So
until
funny.
Big Win Beer tragically passed.
Yeah.
Yes. Double headshot by Wii remotes, actually.
What a day
RIP for Big Win Beer.
Right, remembering his most embarrassing moment.
was that. His
Yeah.
birth.
In his honor.
Followed only by his death to Wiimotes.
I honestly feel like, for me, Smash tournaments, it feels like such a long time ago for me. It
Yeah.
feels like so
It
long
was a
ago.
long time ago for you.
Well, yeah, it was, but like,
I thought it was a long time ago for us. So even longer ago.
yeah,
for you.
it just feels like a real. Because I remember, I think I stopped. I like quit tournaments in maybe 2014,
That's when I started.
That's when I started.
15,
Must
Must
have been 15.
probably
yeah.
15. Because it was like the thing. I guess it wasn't
I
really.
started in 2015, so it must have been 20.
There wasn't a lot of overlap. I don't really
Yeah.
remember the exact date, but maybe it was. It was like mid.
You weren't there long while I was there, so it would have been something around there.
But like, I maybe the most embarrassing thing was when I suppose it's not really embarrassing. I already told the story of when I got really upset on Valentine's Day, lost to someone, and then went outside and cried, not because I lost, but because I missed my girlfriend at the time because she was away for a month.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here? What is my life do? I'm losing to a Campy Link
Yep.
in losers bracket." After I threw a set against Zack because I didn't even want to win.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't care anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, what is the point? So I guess that's not really embarrassing as much as it is kind of just sad.
It's a bit
Or is it
embarrassing.
happy?
Yeah, I guess it's
Realization.
happy.
Bit of
Yeah,
enlightenment.
self-actualization.
So many moves.
The most embarrassing part of that is fucking me because I actually cared about like winning the set. So like I was probably like, yeah, beat Peter,
got him.
and I didn't know that you were like feeling this way at all.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, it sucks to verse Peter, but like still want to win. And then like sort of like did feel that you were throwing a bit. You like swapped off Pikachu.
Well, yeah, you
because-
win game 1 and then swap to Ganon is
Yeah.
not an indication you're trying to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess embarrassing. Probably the crew battle where I took 0 stocks in the grand final. That was pretty funny.
Oh, you took 0 in the grands and winners finals.
Yeah, I took 0
Remember?
stocks
And we won.
and we
Yeah.
won.
It was a team with
Swag.
me, Jordan, and Peter.
Got hyper carried.
We won winners finals and grand finals without Peter doing anything.
Yeah, in one of them I got 3 stocked, and in the other one I didn't even get a turn because I was last, and you guys won before I got a turn.
Man, we fucking killed it.
Yeah, we're kind of nuts in that game.
Because the ruling
People
was you
still
can only have
don't think I'm the second best
what
underdog.
was it? You can only have so many points worth of good players. So it was first in Perth, second in Perth, and then just like
Yeah,
unranked
yeah,
in Perth.
yeah.
Peter was the fucking trash we pulled off the street.
You couldn't be too strong as a team.
That was
So
a good idea. They
You
should bring
weren't
that
allowed
back.
to stack your
That was
team
my
too
idea.
hard.
That was a great
And
idea.
now, dude, now we're the unranked players.
Yeah, we can get
Us
in.
3 will go back.
And lose.
No, we'll win this time.
Okay. Well, if
Come
there's
on.
ever another crew battle tournament with 3s, hit us
We're
up.
in.
We're
I
in.
forgot about that. That was a genius idea.
Yeah.
Crew battles, but yeah,
we
yeah.
were always trying to revolutionize it back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else even happened at Smash tournaments. I don't
One
even
that's
remember.
embarrassing for Zack, and that was by me, was when I was versing Zack before I knew who he was. I was a fan of Little Z, and he was signed up with the name Little Z. And then when I beat him, I just assumed that he obviously was faking being Little Z because there's no way Little Z would be that bad.
Because you've seen the montages.
I've seen
He's
the montage.
insane.
He's obviously a brilliant player.
I was playing Wario, but my Wario was not OP. So it can't be him.
I thought that's obviously a fake.
It's funny because that's before the commentaries, before you showed your face. Because now,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
obviously your channel is so
That's a good
tied to
point.
who you are now. It'd be like, how would you not know it's first the real Little Z if you're playing in a tournament? Back then, it was like before your like, I guess even face reveal. Not that you tried to hide at any point, but it wasn't like part of the channel. It's quite an interesting dynamic to think of now.
Yeah.
Long time fan, Jackson. Big respect.
Long time fan.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah, I know.
Here you are.
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, they worth it, boys.
Yeah, this sucks, man.
Have you guys had any fan interactions recently? Met anyone? Oh, we saw one guy at the festival we went to.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was super
Festival X.
grumps at that point. So you're like, Peter, get him for the photo. So he has this photo of him smiling, Zack behind him smiling, and me in the back just poker face.
It was kind of funny because he also said that he saw me at Listen Out, which was the tournament that it's not tournament. It
Festival.
was the festival that I got way too drunk at. Talked about it like a month ago. So I was like, oh, don't remember you. He was like, yeah, didn't know what you were doing. You were running off somewhere, seemed important. So he didn't say hi to us there. And he was like,
funny.
gotta get the photo this time. I was like, it's weird that this has happened twice.
Yeah.
You've recognized me
That's
as a
insane
Smash
luck.
YouTuber at a festival. What's the overlap between
That's it.
Smash YouTuber
Point
and festival?
It's a
0.0001.
giant fucking what's the thing? A
Venn
Venn diagram,
diagram.
Yeah.
and just that guy in the middle section. He's the
Legit.
only one.
Yeah, I've been recognized like only at weird places, like furniture store, hardware store. Never in a gaming shop. Never
No.
at EB Games or anything.
Yeah,
Mine's always somewhere weird as well, like a restaurant once, I remember.
mine's always at the gym. That's the only
Oh,
place I get
interesting.
recognized. Only place ever I get recognized is at the gym.
Gym. We've got fans that go to the gym.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, shout
Almost
out
all
to-
of them say I used to watch more. They seem to have fallen off.
Well, show them our gym video.
True.
That's how you get them
Step
into the
onto
real
At
life
Your Underdogs
content.
channel, yeah.
Yeah, if they don't watch Smash anymore, they watch the real life Underdogs
Smart.
videos.
True.
I feel like we should wrap this up. We've been
Yep.
talking
Yep.
for a while.
Cool.
Patreon. I need to go to the toilet.
Yep.
We'll see you soon, patrons. Bye
Thanks for
bye.
watching this
Head
week.
on over to patreon.com/underdogspod. We're going to be talking about it for another 30 minutes. There may or may not be more info on Panda.
There
There's
may be
gonna
could be some juicy goss from Lil Z.
Definitely
some
not.
inside
Don't-
info. There could be.
Do not spend
No,
your money.
there could
will
be.
not
There
that.
could.
There won't be. Unless.